Hey guys, welcome to Fractions 2. This one is going to cover multiplying and dividing fractions, which is probably the easiest operation there is to do with fractions. When you need to multiply two fractions, such as 2/3 times 1/5, you're just going to multiply numerators together, denominators together, and then reduce your answer if necessary. So 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 5 is 15. Now you ask yourself, is there any number that will go into 2 and 15? And no, there's not. So this is your answer, lowest terms. You're good to go. All right. Now let's look at another one. Let's say you want to multiply 2/5 times 12/20. Numbers are a little bit larger. You can multiply straight across the top. 2 times 12 is 24, and 5 times 20 is 100. And then you're going to need to reduce, because obviously there are numbers that will go into 24 and into 100. So you would just divide that down until you got it to lowest terms. Or, let me show you a little trick about this. You don't have to multiply first. You can reduce before you multiply. And this keeps your numbers from getting that large, which, you know, if you've got a calculator, it's no big deal. But what we're trying to do here is learn these techniques, because these are things that you use in algebra when you start working with variables. And most people have lost the skill, and then when you throw some letters in there, they don't know how to deal with them because they didn't really learn how to deal with them as numbers. So that's the goal behind this. I want you to be really good at these techniques, even though you could run them through a calculator, because later on when you get to algebra, you'll need to be able to deal with these manually. When you multiply these two together, this is actually what you're saying. 2 times 12 and 5 times 20. And naturally you don't write this out every time. This is just what you think in your head. Now when you look at this top part, this becomes two numbers multiplied together. And remember, multiplication is commutative. So you can move the numbers around any way you want to. You can also reduce any of these numbers. I can reduce the 2 with the 20 if I want to, or the 12 with the 20. Let me just start with the 2. If I take both of these numbers and I divide them by the same number, which will be 2. 2 divided by 2 would leave me with 1. 20 divided by 2 would leave me with 10. Okay? Then at this point, I can multiply and reduce. Or I can look at it again and think, well, you know, 2 and 10 have numbers that go into them. 2. So if I divide both of these numbers by 2, 12 divided by 2 gives me 6. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Now, I've reduced this down a whole lot at this point when the numbers are smaller. And then 1 times 6 is 6. This 5 times this 5 is 25. So here's your answer already in reduced form. You know, you can do it the other way, multiply straight across and then reduce it down at the end. That's fine. Or you can start to pick and choose. Just be sure that you are dividing one of the top numbers and one of the bottom numbers by the same number every time. Okay, don't lose any. Once you get the hang of multiplying, division is a snap. Let's just say I want to divide 1/3 divided by 2/7. The way you divide a fraction, remember that old thing, keep, change, flip? Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep the first one just like it is. We're going to change the sign from division to multiplication. And then we're going to flip this one, which is called the reciprocal. We're going to turn it upside down and put 7/2. Okay? Then you're right back where you were a minute ago with multiplying fractions. So all you have to do is multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom. Now we got an answer of 7/6. This is perfectly acceptable. I would not insist that students change this to a mixed number. But if you need to change it to a mixed number, remember how we did that in the last video. 6 goes into 7 one time. there's 1 left over, and my numerator stays the same. So you have 1 and 1/6. The other thing I would like to show you just real quick, there's different ways to show division. Your problem could be written just like this, or it can be stacked like this. This is 1/3 divided by 2/7. Still, you keep the 1/3, you change the division to multiplication, and then you flip the bottom one, just like that. Okay? All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be back with another video on how to add and subtract fractions before too long. See you then. Bye.